Michael is in Atlanta. Hey, Michael, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how's it going?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I'm currently on baby step 2, and I'm starting a process where I do the debt snowball and really wipe out my debts. Baby step 2 says you should pay off all debts except for the house using the snowball. And in my case, I wanted to see if that would be the scenario. My debts are probably a little higher than average because I'm running a practice and a business.
Okay, so what are you talking about? You've got a business debt that you signed personally for, so it's a personal debt. But how much is it?
Yeah, ultimately. So right now my practice debt is about $800,000.
Yeah.
And then my college tuition is about $185,000.
College tuition, you mean student loan debt?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Student loan debt goes in baby step 2, $800,000 practice goes in baby step 6.
Okay. Yeah, so you consider that as part of like the same concept as paying off the home early then?
Yeah. And I would call it, here's a kind of a correlation on that, if you will, although the numbers aren't as many zeros. But if you have a home equity loan, we put it in baby step 2 if it's less than half your annual income. If it's more than half your annual income, we put it in baby step 6 with the house. So please tell me you have an incredible income with this delicious mess you've made.
Luckily, the first year of the business, my take-home was pushing $250. So luckily, I'm producing more than I'm spending, and I have the ability to snowball a debt.
Okay, so you said practice. What? You're a medical doctor or?
A dentist.
A dentist. Excellent. Okay, the most expensive form. Okay, so you netted $250 last year.
Correct. That's my net income.
What do you think you're going to get this year?
I'm aiming up at the 300, but I'm taking a step at a time. With COVID, things went all over the place, so we'll see as we go.
So you're going to try to live on. You're going to try to put at least $200 a year towards this mess, right?
That's at least the plan. Yeah, I'm still living on almost a college budget. So.
I like that. That's hard to do when you're making $250,000 a year emotionally, but it is the right thing to do and the smart thing to do because you have a large mess to go with your large income.
Yeah. But that's a scary number to look at, so that's my motivation.
Yeah, and I think here's what I'd be looking at, how stinking wealthy you're going to become instantly when you clear the table on all this debt. I mean, you got $1 million here in just student loans and practice debt alone. And so when you clear that $1 million off the top of your head and you're making $350, you're going to make so much money so fast it's going to be unbelievable. But the temptation is to drag that out for a lot of people, and that's a huge mistake. We've worked with a lot of guys and gals in the dental world over the years, and that's it is. You guys spend more money than MDs do on your practices and on your education. It's shocking, but the good news is you got a good practice that you stepped into. So I'm glad for you. Yeah, play through, baby, play through. Good stuff. Wow.
Yeah, got to keep the eye on the prize. I hope you folks heard what Dave said, because that's such a huge mountain, right? But then you got to go, what's it like on the other side of that mountain? And that's when you start piling up money, and you go, okay, how long do I want to be a dentist? Well, 25 years. Well, if you bust it over the next 2-3 years, 4 years max, really get after it, and you're on the other side of that mountain. Well, it's really fun, once you get up there. And, I think there's a great story of Sir Edmund Hillary, who climbed Mount Everest the first time, and he was with his climbing partner. They finally get up there, and you can imagine how difficult that journey was way back then. And he finally gets up at the highest point and looking out. And that's really this idea of getting over debt. And if you get so consumed with how difficult the climb is, many people fall off. But if you're going, hey, I want to be the first person to summit that, I'm going to summit that, that's what we're about, that's the vision. When you get up there, here's what's great. On the other side of these debt-free screams that you hear on this show, people are now looking out. They've been looking up during the journey, but then when you finally get up there, and Edmund Hillary looked at his friend, his climbing Sherpa partner, he said, I think that's the next one we're going to climb. And isn't that amazing? On top of the world. 5 minutes later, I think that's the one we're going to climb. But now the vision is this way.
Yeah, you start seeing different. It's a different viewpoint, and that's it is half the battle in the stuff we talk about around here, from Dr. John talking about mental health to money to careers to all the different types of things we get ourselves into around Ramsey. So much of it has to do with the view. It has to do with the perspective. And, they say that it's easier to make $2 million. Sure, it is, because you've already done it once and you believe you can do it. It's always easier. I know I've done it twice because I was so stupid I had to do it twice. There you go.